All right, everybody, going live again. Tracking some stronger thunderstorms now, moving toward Langston. Noticed those wind speeds are really picking up now, according to velocity. So we're going to go ahead and track that out, see if it continues. But just wanted to give everybody a heads up here what we're looking at. Special weather statement for another 29 minutes. Some 40-mile-per-hour winds possible with that. Locations impacted will be Scottsboro, Grant section, and Langston area. But we're noticing those winds pick up a good bit, so that's why I've actually went live. So some of those winds could knock down tree limbs and stuff like that. Starting to see some pretty high winds picking up on the scan here. That's east of Grant. Some 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts is possible with this storm now. So let me bring that up. That's actually why I went live. I noticed those winds starting to really peak up in this storm here. And that is moving kind of toward the Langston area, maybe a little bit further south of that. Station 28 Skywarn advising watching a stronger thunderstorm now that's going to be moving toward Langston. Doppler radar indicating some 45 to 50 mile per hour winds possible with that. Just a little area of that now. Currently it is east of Grant, about to move into Jackson County. Looks like the southern portions of Jackson County. Let me get my other radar up and actually give you a better idea where that's going to be at. All right, it's crossing Highway 79, or yeah, I believe that's Highway 79 or County Road 79, right around Preston Site subdivision area. That's going to be going very close to Kirbytown, and then eventually around southern portions of Marshall or Jackson. Looks like west of Crossroad area, possibly the Crossroads area. But showing some signs of some very high winds with that storm. Just want to pass it along. Station 28 standing by. So you're watching a storm now. It's actually in, back this way out, it's actually in northern Marshall County, around the Preston site.
Station 46 copy. Standing by.
Preston subdivision area in Preston. That's in Marshall County. Going on into Jackson County. So just want to throw that out there. Some high winds showing up on the radar. We really appreciate everybody that sent videos and stuff in, and I would actually like to share that with everybody while I am keeping an eye on this. Let me see if I can't grab that up real quick. So hold on just a second. I don't know if this thing's going to let me do that, but it might. Okay. I had to look at that twice. Sorry. I thought I was seeing something else, but never mind. Okay, let me go. Bear with me, everybody. I'm trying to get this up. But this thing is so stupid when it comes to videos. Alright, so let me stop the video here. What I'm about to do is put up another screen that might let me show this to everybody. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me see if I can't pull that up.
Station 26, standing by.
Okay, get Facebook up here. Okay, so the stream might go black for just a minute until I can figure out what is going on with this thing. Okay, sorry, I see what's going on with it now. Let me get on Facebook here. See if you guys can see the video, and you actually can see a little bit of it. Let me adjust it a little bit more. This thing's a little funky. Okay, so I'm going to adjust it a little bit more. Okay, we should be able to see the video now. So we'll take a look at that. All right, so there's the video of the what appears to be a wall cloud. That was over Sylvania earlier during that when I was tracking those storms. I saw that rotation over Sylvania. We had reports from firefighters that, of course, they pretty much seen this. It was rotating a bit. That's the report that I got. It was rotating a bit, but they did not see anything touch down with it. So appreciate Avery Pack Smith for sending that video in. We really do appreciate that, letting us have a look at it, but that is what it looked like. So pretty spooky little cloud hanging down. Nice little wall cloud hanging down there for sure. So let me go ahead and get something fixed. There's something making some noise in the background. I have no clue what it is. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so let me get my other radar up and I will start answering questions for everybody. Right now, tracking a strong thunderstorm about to move into Langston. So it's over in Marshall County, east of Grant. Some high winds, maybe up to 50 miles per hour. Lots of lightning with it. Special weather statement out on that. So we do have some more moving in. And I believe I saw a question about Claysville. We will get to you. Don't worry, we will get to you. Seeing some more heavy showers of storms approaching Guntersville, Albertville, Boaz, actually on top of Guntersville, lots of lightning. Nothing severe with any of that. We'll run it back through the storm relative velocity. Yeah, not seeing nothing other than those high winds entering Langston and Jackson County. And some storm activity there around Menlo, Georgia. It's actually in DeKalb County, moving over, about to move into Menlo, Georgia. Yeah, nothing concerning out of that storm at all at this point. Now, let me go back to the question there. Still a heavy storm there moving into Menlo, Georgia, or actually south of Valley Head. You're probably getting some of that right now, Valley Head and Hammondville area. So let's go ahead and take a look where that location was at. Claysville. Are you talking about Claysville, Alabama, or Claysville, Georgia? Just wondering. Some of those can be confusing. Stormy in Mentone. Yeah, absolutely. Some storms up that way. So far, Dawson's still in the clear, but there's more coming to the west, so more rain. We need it, so more rain is on the way. Just letting everybody know. Alabama, Claysville, Alabama. Okay, all right. Let me get my other radar up. It actually will show me where that's at. So let's see. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, so you are just northeast of Guntersville, according to this. So let's pull you up here. Yep, I've got you right on my radar site here. So let me switch radars real quick. All right, there you are. You got some thunderstorms moving in, some high, maybe some gusty winds. Other than that, just some moderate to heavy rain. Pushing in. We'll back out. Some really heavy stuff to the west. So that's what you got going on around Claysville at this point. That's in Marshall County. So some heavier stuff moving in. Nothing severe at this moment. Some of this heavier stuff. Also, there's probably a shelf cloud out ahead of that. I'm noticing how these clouds are rolling on the radar. Yeah, they're actually rolling. So I'm pretty sure there is a shelf cloud with that. Let me get to the Doppler radar site that's got a camera, which is located in Boaz, but I'll have to cut you guys off because I can't live stream that, as I unfortunately won't let anybody live stream it. So take a look at it in the background here. It is just pouring down over Boaz. I mean, just absolutely pouring down. Lots of wind there, too. It's really windy coming into there. I don't see a shelf cloud, but there is a lot of rain and winds. Camera's really shaking around. I wish I could show the camera as much as you guys wish that I could show it too, but I don't really understand the whole deal, but they will not let you broadcast it without owner permission. You can take screenshots but you cannot live broadcast it on a live stream or anything like that. So that's my understanding of things. But yes, a really heavy rain and wind coming through Marshall County right now, according to their tower cam there. So let's get on back to looking at the radar. Yeah, like and share, please do. Also, follow on Facebook and like our YouTube. We're live on YouTube too. And I'm also seeing some additional development to the west. This rain is great. And I'm really hoping this big bulk of showers and storms around Aniana and all that, Sardis City, I'm hoping and praying it moves northeast. Because our area here, in between our Geraldine Crossville areas, we've not been getting hardly nothing here. Everything just completely splits and goes the other way. We really need this to make it. So that would be great. Looking on back here toward Mississippi, got a few little showers and storms. Also, some more showers and storms off to the west. That's more than likely going to be, that's going to be a longer front ahead of our cold front. We do have a cold front coming in, so right there it is, and it is stalled out over northwest Tennessee, bringing some threats of some heavy rainfall. I did not mean to do that. Hopefully they don't get me in trouble for that. I did not mean to bring that camera up. That was an accident. Anyway, that's what I hate about them being so easy to click sometimes. That was supposed to pull up the Outlook, not the camera. Flash flood discussion. There's some chances of some flooding up there, of course, due to that stalled out front. But yeah, seeing some additional storms. More than likely, we will have some additional storms move in. I'm going to go back and check the high-res models and see what they think. So I'm kind of checking here at the background, the high-res. There is a slight risk of excessive rainfall for northeast Alabama. So hopefully we get that excessive rainfall. So far we've got a good bit of rain. I mean, enough, I guess, compared to what we've had. All right, so we get this batch coming through. Models are wanting to show more developing. Looks like that is going to be around 9 o'clock tonight. We'll get some more coming in, and then some more. Looks like we get some more rain, maybe some storms, possibly around 1 a.m. in the morning. And that's when our model run runs out, because I'm using the free computer model, so it runs out at that time. Doesn't give me a lot more information. Could see another batch come in. It's saying around 9 o'clock tonight, of course, what I was just talking about. Some final storms develop anywhere between, looks like, 9 a.m. tomorrow and 10 o'clock in the morning. Main front starts to move through. We get another little bit of shower thunderstorm activity, possibly around, this is wanting to show 9 o'clock, 9 p.m., so that'll be Thursday night at 9 p.m., showing we could get some more. So there is chances of rainfall before that front does move on through here, and it eventually, goes on out. So, yeah, those cameras are not for live broadcast. I did not mean to click that up by any means. That was fully accidental. So hopefully they don't, say nothing about that, because it didn't stream but maybe a second. So I clicked it off as quick as I could. But yes, there is some stuff that's kind of, I guess you would say, secretive. You have to pay to be able to use the cameras, in my knowledge. Radar Omega, if you would like to use them yourself, but keep in mind you can't live stream them. It's got a notice on there that tells you that. But you can go on Radar Omega, and I think it's like $15, $20 a month. You can get this radar, and it has all these cameras. As you see this camera here, right in Boaz. There's lots of cameras, and also haze cams. Okay, haze cams you don't have to pay nothing for. Look, if you want to look at the cameras, haze cams for free is great. It's amazing, but keep in mind they have privacy policies in place. That's why they let you share it. So you don't have to screenshot it or nothing like that. You can share it, and it pulls that view up, and everybody else can click it. It's mainly a privacy thing. With these cams, but Radar Omega a bit stricter about it. But these are all cameras, all stations you can pull up in Tennessee. There's tons of them out there, all the way into Kentucky. I mean, Jonesboro. There's not a lot of cameras out west, though. As you see, there's only a few little stations out there. But overall, there is nothing, just nothing out west. So, that being said, and there's also some in Georgia, just an FYI, also south down in South Alabama. But anywho, let's get the radar back up. So we got some really heavy rain over Boaz. That's tracking to the east, northeast. Albertville gets some heavy stuff, and we're about to get some heavy stuff here. Crossville and Geraldine. Storm prediction. Weather statement just went up with these storms producing high winds. Looks like the line extends from near Hollywood to 6 miles east of Grant. Movement was east at 20 miles per hour, some 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations impacted would be Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Rainsville, Henniger, Sylvania, Fife, Hollywood, Powell Section, and Ider. Torrential rainfalls occurring with these storms that may lead to flash flooding. We did have reports of exactly that up around Sylvania and Henniger and even Ider. There was people telling me people was pulled over on the side of the road and water was standing pretty good in the roadways. So due to the rainfall being so heavy, so you may run into torrential rain. More than likely, you're going to by this. It's over Langston, currently approaching Section and Dutton. Pisgah and Henniger will be next. Also Sylvania, Rainsville, Fife. It's going to be kind of in that line. But from Lakeview, Geraldine to Crossville, you're not in that special weather statement. We do have some heavier showers and maybe some storms pushing our way as well. So keep an eye on these. Nothing severe at the moment. And yeah, my cough has came back. I don't know why, but it has. Starting to rain in Gillsville, nothing crazy. Well, honestly, there wasn't supposed to be any tornadoes to begin with. I mean, there was not supposed to be any. I looked at the models this morning. There's just nothing there. But it was due to that heat. It broke up. It got really hot. The sun shined through, and that was just enough to put enough energy there and enough instability. We had a little bit of wind shear. The wind shear wasn't crazy, but we had a little bit of wind shear, enough to try to kick something off. Thankfully, it didn't. But, yeah, the outlooks show nothing as far as a threat of tornadoes. And I'm going to check that and see if that's updated. Yeah, tornado outlook, nothing. It is literally 0. So, North Alabama and its crazy weather. Well, I'm glad, Lisa. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I try. Our next round of storms are not supposed to be severe. That threat's supposed to slide further to the south of us as we get into tomorrow, but we will have more rounds of thunderstorms and heavy rain. Maybe some gusty winds. Crossville, we're about to get some rain, maybe some thunder and lightning. And then we'll get a break from the rain and storms again with another round coming in later tonight. So let's see what we've got here. Moving through Albertville now. Boaz, really heavy rain. We're starting to get some of that move into our kind of closer into our range of areas. Kilpatrick's getting some of that rain, maybe some embedded thunder, lightning. It'll be moving into Crossville shortly, then Geraldine. But right now, we've got some really strong storms moving through Langston. Torrential rain with that. Powell, I wish that would come our way because we really need that rain. This light stuff is just not going to do much of anything for us, but I guess it is what it is, right? Section Dutton area is getting some of that torrential rain. Langston, you guys are probably wondering what's happening because the sky's falling, it looks like. Macedonia next in line with that. Hancock Crossroads, Bellevue, Powell, Dutton. Definitely some high winds along that cell there for sure. So, Okay. I bet it is coming down Langston. Very heavy. That and this road is bad there. There's a lot of high winds with that stuff coming through. So that batch that kept trying to rotate just a bit, it's actually done moved into Georgia, and they've already put a special weather statement. That's going to be for Summerville and Tryon, Georgia, Menlo, Georgia. You're under a special weather statement there due to some gusty winds. Storm's got a nice little little bit of a bow and
Just a little update. Station 46 to all stations at 5:20 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. Doppler radar is tracking strong thunderstorms along the line extending from near Hollywood to 6 miles east of Grant. Movement was east at 20 miles per hour. Hazards are wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Locations impacted include Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Rangeville, Henniger, Sylvania, Fife, Hollywood, Powell, Section, and Ida. Station 46 is going to be sitting standby, listening for any updates and watching for any updates.
And he is actually a firefighter. I forgot which department he's with, but he's with a department up here. I don't even remember where it's at. I think it's up in Jackson County or something like that. Station 28 received there, 46. Appreciate it. We're tracking it live on Facebook right now and YouTube. Okay, hoping we get some heavier stuff coming in here because we really need it. But yeah, right now our concern is going to be with these storms over Langston section and Dutton. Some high winds moving into Powell and Sylvania, Rainsville shortly. Also Fife. It's going to be some heavy stuff with that. Let's just look at the radar. Got one little cell that's popped up ahead of the cold front. It's actually way to the west. Little cell there near Haleyville. But we will get a break from this. Keep in mind, this will be our last bit of rain, unless we have additional development, which I'm seeing some additional pop up behind this. So there's still a possibility of more rain and storms, definitely. I know I'm gonna be sick if these storms right here do what it looks like they're doing. I hope that they're not, but it looks like it's trying to split in half right as it's getting close to us once again. That makes no sense, but hopefully it don't. Anyway, lots of heavy rain and storms across the area. Nothing severe other than some strong stuff. Looking back to the west, there's some individual storms developing kind of ahead of that next batch of rain and storms moving in from the west. That's currently over in Mississippi around Greenwood and all. All this should redevelop as it gets on into our area. But right now, there's our cold front responsible for all this rain, stuff like that. I'd be glad when we get some heavy stuff.
6, standing by.
Copy, Station 26, standing by. Station 28, just get the heads up that you're live here at Valiant Baptist Church. So we got you live on YouTube.
Roger, appreciate that. 21 mile an hour winds out of the west right now. We got some high winds coming in ahead of this line here. I can actually hear the wind roaring, so we've got some high winds coming into our area with this. But yeah, I'm not seeing no rotation or nothing, which is good news. Just some high winds now coming in around Powell, about to be entering Powell. We'll be in Fife shortly, within the next little bit. So I appreciate them guys, sure do. So yeah, thanks each and every one of you for watching. It's like around 227 there around Geraldine, some heavy stuff just to the north of them, and another little heavy shower going right across 75, moving into Geraldine right now. You should be getting some of the light rain, but guess what? You're about to get some heavy stuff as well. And it looks like we're going to get some light stuff here where I'm located at, of course, some moderate, maybe some heavy embedded. Looks like everything is doing what it usually does, going south and north of me. Yeah, we've had some wind, but it's not anything really crazy. All right, starting to see something grab my attention. I've been been watching this area for a minute now, right in there where those two different complexes of storms are meeting. I'm watching right in there to see if anything does develop. I'm noticing a bit of a knot show up, but again, that is nothing of concern at the moment. And we do have some hail showing up too. Let me throw that out. Some probably dime-sized hail, maybe nickel around Hancock Crossroads, Macedonia. It could be smaller, around pea size, but there's a few larger in there. I can tell by the colors. They're a little bit lighter and darker. Could be now, yeah, weakened down on that nice scan. And hang on a minute, we've got a nice little inflow notch going on right there. So let's take a look on the new scan here. That radar scan's not even updated yet. That's real nice. Let me back away and look at the other radar. Okay, so still not showing nothing of concern just yet. Just checking my battery backup system there because it's hooked into all this, making sure it wasn't about to die. Seeing some high winds now just to the west of Powell. And wouldn't you know it, the lighter stuff's about to move into where I'm at, and everything heavy is south and north of us. So that's kind of what it's been lately. I don't know what these storms have got against our area. Just beyond me. Heavy stuff now going on into Henniger. Some really heavy rain there. Could be some flooding. Sylvania also. And down to Powell and Rainsville. Still watching a really strong storm here, showing some signs of some high winds. Close to Gibson Crossroads. Well, I wouldn't say it's our last system. According to the newest, County Road and 227, you're seeing rotation. Okay, that's exactly in that area that I've been watching. So thanks for that information there. Grove Oak, yeah, you're just to the north of you there is where I've been watching. So I'll continue to keep an eye on that. So you're seeing rotation reported. Station 28, all stations. Public report visually seeing what they believe is rotation near Grove Oak, and I can actually confirm on radar that there is some weak stuff. It's embedded in there, not immediately hollering tornado by any means, but you can see there's a bit there in the velocity, so I just want to throw that up to everybody.
Station 46 copy. Following that as well, also looking at that little hood just south of Macedonia.
Roger that. Is that going to be close to 431 or no? No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's exactly where I'm watching, near Macedonia. Sorry. Yeah, that's the one I've been watching. But seeing two little areas there south of Macedonia and near Grove Oak as well. Looks like they're gone on that second scan there. So yeah, they're not showing up anymore on the second scan. So just something really quick. We got some really high winds coming in.
Yeah, I haven't flipped over to velocity, but I've been watching the reflectivity and I've been watching for the hoods. As we all know, that's how it starts.
Absolutely. Also watching in Powell, some of that heavier stuff moving toward Powell. Maybe some hail in there and high winds, and also it's got a little bit of a something trying to go on there, so I'm watching that. And that was thunder. So there's our little bit of rain.
Now it looks like, I don't know if this is my updated scan, but it looks like there might be a little something right there on 35, just southeast of Duncan Crossroads on the high-res velocity.
Yeah, that's the one I'm watching. Just west of Powell. Just yeah, a little bit of broad, weak stuff there, and that could be because looks like the storm's actually the clouds are rolling. Almost makes me think there's a shelf cloud there. I'm gonna look at it too. Yeah, there is a bit of rotation there. Broad.
Yeah, I'd love to get some video of that if there was any video in that area, but I bet that shelf cloud would be beautiful.
Around Powell, starting to just to the west, starting to see a little bit of something there. I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, it's very weak rotation, very broad. So we're going to watch that. It almost looks like it's on the wrong side to me, but. I know this. Who thought we'd have tornadoes today when the models weren't indicating anything like that? Hopefully we don't get no tornado out of this. And by looking at the radar, I mean, no. Just some rain in our area. Nothing severe. All of our attention's up here toward Powell. Also along Fife and Shiloh, just to the west. That's where we're watching these two little complexes come together. And that's where we're starting to see some of those little bitty signatures show up, where there's just a little bit of rotation going on. Not enough to, really, most wouldn't even mention it, but I'm mentioning it. Yeah, that signature is in the wrong spot for that to be anything. Sometimes you have to watch the rotation. It's not in the right spot here around Powell. That's going to be some really high winds, maybe 40, 50 miles per hour. I'm going to check it out on another radar scan here. All right, so we have about 40 miles per hour showing up just to the west of Powell, and that's actually going to be high winds. That's what's going on there. Probably a shelf cloud.
We had a flood warning that just came up for DeKalb, Jackson, Madison. So everybody, if you guys are out driving around, just be
Flood
safe.
warning, huh? I am not getting notified of that yet.
Another red light in Swamp Girl location is imminent or occurring.
All right, there we go.
Additional details at 5:31 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Emergency management reported heavy rain in Jackson County and Scottsboro due to thunderstorms. Flooding is already occurring. Between 1 and 2 inches.
Copy that, 46. Thanks. I'm getting it on my NOAA, but I'm not getting it on radar at the moment, so I don't know what's up with that.
Turn around, don't travel when encountering flooded roads. Most of flood deaths occur in vehicles. At 5 p.m. at Albertson Regional Airport, skies were mostly cloudy.
Also seeing some hail now around Preston. That's in Marshall County near Guntersville Lake. Starting to see some small hail show up there.
The pressure was 29.98 inches
Let's
rising.
take a look at that special weather statement. This storm now is approaching Powell and about to be in Rainsville.
Temperature was 73 degrees.
Still looking like some high winds with that.
Relative humidity 88%. Winds were southwest at 7 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.99 inches and rising. Elsewhere across the area, Fort Payne, a thunderstorm and 74. Gadsden, thunder and 75. Huntsville, partly sunny and 77. And Decatur, Muscle Shoals, partly sunny.
So yeah, we really missed out on the rain that we needed. Hopefully there's more that will develop and will move in with time.
Mostly cloudy and to 75. And a common regional.
But yeah, emergency management reporting flooding, and yet there's nothing showing on radar on my end. So I've had my pager on. It should have went off. I don't know why it didn't. So let me close these radars for just a minute. We're going to back off just for a moment. Bear with me. And let's load these back up and see if it's maybe a glitch, because we've been having problems with stuff lately, especially today. Yeah, it's still not showing a flood warning. Basically, it was saying flood warning or something like that. And for some reason, the radar is just not showing that, so I don't know what's up with that. So yeah, if you we got some people sent a video in from Powell. I do appreciate that. I will definitely take a look at it. Still some weak rotation showing up in this little storm around Powell. Some really high winds coming through now, but nothing concerning really with that. I mean, that is, so weak. It's still making me think that that's just a shelf cloud there, and it's rolling. And therefore, the radars want to say there's rotation there, but it's actually rolling instead of rotating. So that's what I believe is going on there. It's rolling because the signature is not enough for nothing, to be honest. Not what I would look for with, a tornado or nothing. So I believe that's just rolling instead of rotating. So it's can really have to pay attention to radar, to know what you're looking at, because it can be pretty convincing sometimes. Looks like Fife, you're getting this. Rainsville, you're also going to get some hail in there. I'm seeing embedded stuff about pea-sized. Let me go. Got a call for flooding. Okay. There is some flooding going on. I don't know why my Doppler radars are not showing it, but there's nothing showing. But there's definitely one in effect. So, okay, flood warning has been issued for Scottsboro. Just now getting notified of that after the weather radio went off a while ago. All right, so we still got a special weather statement in effect for 36 more minutes. Looking like a line extending from near Hollywood to 6 miles east of Grant. Movement was east at 20 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Areas impacted: Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Rainsville, Henniger, Sylvania, Fife, Hollywood, Powell, Section, and Ider. Torrential rainfall is occurring with them storms. So I'm trying to get switched out in the messenger so I can see everybody's videos. So I'm watching some of these videos in the background. So if you hear thunder and noise, that's what it is. Angela McGatha sent a video in from Powell. Looks like a lot of rain. Maybe some wind. More beautiful photos of the shelf cloud now approaching Rainsville. Very nice shot of that by, it just says Facebook user. Yeah, nice little shelf cloud there with lots of rain with it. It just says Facebook user. Brandon Dupree. There we go. It loaded up that time. Thanks for sending that in. Braxton Hester sending a nice photo of a shelf cloud in Fife. Thank you all for sending that. And Jose, let me get back to him really quick. All right, so lots of people asking me, what apps do you recommend using for severe weather notifications? Well, I'll be honest with you. The best one that I've found so far was Alabama Weather Network, the new James Spann app. It's really good. It lets you know if lightning's nearby. It lets you know severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, all that. It is a little bit confusing on setting the location up, but once you get it, it's not that bad. In Rainsville, some torrential rainfall, some hail coming right at you. Probably going to be pea to dime size hail entering Rainsville right now. But that being said, the Alabama Weather Network app is really good. So I would recommend downloading that. Like I said, it makes, just take a little bit of time with it and you'll figure it out. Plus it has features like such as the what are those called? AWMN. I said it earlier. I don't remember what those cameras are called now. My mind just went blank. But I'll think about them here again in a minute. But it's got cameras on there. You can look across the area. Haze cams. That's what it is. It's got, but you can also go to Haze cams, look them up online. You can look at all those cameras across the area. Really recommend that. It's really neat getting to see all that. Really heavy rain now going into Collinsville. So Rainsville now is about to get some pretty heavy stuff. Some 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I know they're not mentioning hail, but I can assure you there's some hail in that. If you're in Rainsville, more likely you're seeing some small hail, or you did see some small hail, because now it's past Rainsville moving toward Plainview, the Plainview School there, and Highway 35. That goes from Rainsville to Plainview there. You're probably seeing some hail if you're in that area, some very small stuff. We're also seeing some additional storms pop up behind this. That one moving extremely slow, just now passing Haleyville after, I don't know, 30 minutes. It's been hanging out there forever. It seems like some heavier stuff down around Attala, Gadsden areas. Looks like that is Highway 759 and I-59. Some heavy stuff there around Northeast Alabama Regional Airport. I am going to look into the Haze cams because there's something I've noticed on them. You don't have a big notification that comes across on the bottom that says no live broadcasting without owner permission like you do on, of course, Radar Omega. So I'm kind of interesting to see what their stance is as far as maybe live streaming a camera or two. Of course, I don't get paid, so it's not like my content's, making any money off of them. So that's what a lot of them has an issue with, is people using their cameras. I mean, I get it. I wouldn't like it either if something was mine and they was using it to make money off of, so I get it. But hopefully their stance a little bit not as bad as Radar Omega is, but I don't know. If it is, I get it. But yeah, Alabama Weather Network, go look that up. AWN, you can look it up in the Play Store and download that. Nothing in Crossville, severe wise or strong at the moment. Yeah, James Spann's app, that's what it's called. I've never used Live Alert 19, but since you say it's good, hey, check it out. I mean, I've never checked it out before. Well, Shelby, I was leaving. I was going to shut the page completely down. I've been so stressed out over everything, I couldn't handle this page. It was too much. So what I did was I turned around and me and my buddy made an agreement, because when he heard about it, he's been admin on this page. I don't know, we've been, on here for 15 years, 13, 15 years, somewhere right in there, covering. And when he's seen the notification of the page being deleted, he, of course, called me. And he's like, are you doing something drastic that you don't need to be doing? And I'm like, well, I'm just stressed out. And it's so dangerous to be online these days. I mean, you get one thing wrong and get the wrong person, they'll hunt your whole family down, if you know what I mean. So it's just got crazy. So I was going to leave. What's going on? Power is out in Fort Payne, north end of town. More than likely due to the strong winds coming through and the heavy rainfall and all that. More than likely that's what that's all about. But, yeah. Henniger, you've still got some heavy rain. Other than that, you're under a special weather statement, but the heaviest stuff is now literally over Rainsville, moving to the east, kind of toward Fort Payne, and that'll move along I-59. But yeah, I was going to leave, and, me and him made an agreement that he would be the owner of this page. They're saying there's reports of rotation in Powell. Let me get on that. I'll finish my story later. Okay, so any rotation would have been earlier. Yeah, it would have been earlier. There was a bit of rotation as it moved into Powell, as I was mentioning, but I believe that's more rolling. It was rolling more than rotating. But it may have been rotating a little bit. I won't say that it wasn't, but, nothing concerning enough to really, worry about. It's all east of Powell right now. I believe that was more or less rolling than rotating, but it could have been rotating a little bit as it moved across. But yeah, nothing showing up right now. No worries with that, other than the high winds. Maybe some hail. I'm seeing that as it's moving into Pine Ridge. It'd be moving along I-59, going very close to Hammondville and Valley Head. Fort Payne, you're also going to be getting some downpours and high winds here pretty shortly as that moves on across. Right now, our area, anywhere from Guntersville, Albertville, Boaz, just some moderate to light rainfall. Jackson County, you've got a few storms developing to the west, but overall, nothing. This is pretty much it for a little while. We'll continue to watch new development to the west and see if that, blows up. Models are wanting to show redevelopment around 9 o'clock, so we could get some more in here around 9 o'clock. That is... See if I can find my tool. Where did it go? That is if all this, back here starts to turn into storms, which, it could. There's a lot of moisture in place, so it could. We'll see if any additional stuff develops behind it. But looking in Mississippi, still watching that heavy stuff to the west, and that will probably, it might, when it looks like it might be causing some additional storms to develop. So we'll watch those scattered storms there and see if they, do anything, but they shouldn't, other than some heavy rain. But some really high winds and hail now going to be approaching I-59 in between Fort Payne and Valley Head. Madison, where are you located at? Yeah, it's going to be rough in Rainsville, that's for sure. Fox 54, you've been watching since 2011. Okay, yeah. Well, honestly, I've took some really bad threats from people in the past, and that's something most don't know, or you might know it, but I have really had some bad threats put toward me. People, which James Spann, you can watch him and he'll say the same thing. He's probably had millions of threats from people, but nowadays it seems like people are a little bit crazier, if you know what I mean, a little bit more off, that they would actually go forward with those threats. So I'm a little bit, I got a bit concerned, I'll admit, being online. So you have to be careful these days, that's for sure. And we probably do have a chance of storms tomorrow, about an 80% chance, but the severe threat will be south of our area here in North Alabama. That is, if you are down, let's say around Gadsden, even there, the marginal risk is south of Gadsden. It's very close to Birmingham, but it's right over Talladega. So, Gadsden, you're close enough you could possibly still see a severe storm tomorrow. You're like right along the line, but not in it. Birmingham, same thing. Mainly, I'll say from Birmingham, Gadsden south to Talladega, Montgomery, Greenville, Troy, Auburn, Mobile, and Dothan, Alabama. All of y'all are in that marginal threat for severe storms tomorrow, and the primary threats does not mention any threat of a tornado. It does say between a 5 and 14% chance of damaging winds, primary threats with storms tomorrow. Of course, the Storm Prediction Center will update again. Also, we have a chance of some storms on Friday. Storm Prediction Center has got anywhere from Decatur, Huntsville, Birmingham, Gadsden, of course, all of northeast Alabama under a threat of storms on Friday, with storms expected to remain along I-65, excluding Florence. Area like Florence is going to be outside that line as that main cool front does push through. But the good news is there is cooler temperatures on the way with this. This is a pretty strong cold front. There is some cooler temperatures on the way, so that is some good news. All right, everybody, so looks like we're going to keep an eye on these storms, of course. It's around Fort Payne, but overall, nothing severe with any of that. Everything looks good other than the wind. Some really high winds with some of that going toward Valley Head and Hammondville. So if you're in Valley Head, Hammondville, Fort Payne, some really high winds coming your way, maybe 40 miles per hour. Yeah, more than likely it will develop storms tomorrow. But yeah, my prayers for my buddy and my brother. He's pretty much a brother to me, so I don't even call him a buddy. He's a brother of mine, and we're related. Somehow we're related on my mama's side of the family. So, but yeah, we became friends years ago on an old storm chase team that kicked us both out because of something stupid, to be honest. So we just created our own and said, hey, we'll do it ourselves. We can do it better by ourselves anyway. So that's what we did. 13 to 15 years later, here we are. And I decided to give it up. And I was gonna leave, completely just give up on it and leave because of all the stress it's caused me. But my buddy's like, you're doing something you're going to regret. I'm like, well, right now it seems worth it. But he's like, well, we can work something out. Let me be the owner of the page for a while. Let me be the owner. And I'm like, okay, hey, take stress off of me. And then look at me. Here I am, back at it again. Wasn't planning on going back at it like this, but you know what? I guess it's been a passion since childhood, so. All right, everybody, I'm going to get on out of here. These storms are about to move into Georgia, but if you are in Valley Head and Hammondville, Mentone, you've got some high winds coming, some torrential rain. There could be some hail embedded in some of that, too, so don't be surprised if you don't, get maybe a few, pellets of ice hitting your windshield there, of hail, rather, but it's not doing a lot other than that, some high winds. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks each and every one of you for being on. I enjoyed it. Good talking with everybody. It actually helped my stress just a little bit. So I do appreciate it. Everybody hanging out. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to end the stream. So thank you, everybody. I do appreciate it. And we'll get ready to wrap it up here. And have a good evening, everybody. See you on the next stream. And make sure you stay tuned to our page. So have a blessed evening, and we'll see you again. Thanks again, everybody.